Have you ever felt dizzy or lightheaded the moment you got out of bed? Maybe you brushed it off as just getting older or standing up too fast. But what if I told you that this small, everyday moment could quietly be raising your stroke risk, and you're not alone? Every morning, millions of seniors across the country do one thing that seems completely harmless, yet it puts sudden pressure on the brain, the heart, and the blood vessels. And for those of us over 60, this pressure can trigger something far more serious than just a little imbalance. Hi, I'm Dr. Ariana, and for over 15 years, I've helped older adults protect their brains and their independence. But what truly worries me isn't just what happens in a hospital. It's what happens in your bedroom within the first 60 seconds of waking up. Today, I'm here to gently ask you to look at one common habit that might be silently harming you, and to show you a simple way to change it, starting tomorrow morning, because one small shift could make all the difference for your brain and your life. When we wake up in the morning, we often think the day starts the moment we open our eyes. But for the body, especially for the brain and heart, there's a delicate process happening behind the scenes. You see, while you were sleeping, your body entered a state of deep rest. Your blood pressure dropped, your heart slowed down, and your brain shifted into a calmer rhythm. But the moment you begin to wake, everything has to switch gears. Your heart must pump faster. Your blood pressure starts rising again, and your brain needs to catch up and prepare to think clearly, move your muscles, and keep you balanced. This transition is gentle in a younger body, but after 60, that adjustment becomes slower and far more sensitive. Imagine trying to start an old car on a cold morning. If you press the gas too fast, the engine can stall or flood. Your body works in a similar way. Suddenly jumping out of bed before your circulation fully stabilizes can cause your blood to rush downward. That leaves your brain with less oxygen just when it needs more. It's one of the key reasons why strokes are more likely to happen in the early morning hours. In fact, studies have shown that the risk of stroke is highest during the first few hours after waking up. Your blood is thicker from overnight dehydration. Your blood pressure rises faster. And if you add in sudden movements or stress, the risk can triple, especially if you already have high blood pressure or a heart condition. So no, it's not just getting older. There's real science behind why mornings are more dangerous for seniors. That's why it's so important to honor your body's pace, to give it the calm, gentle start it deserves. Because how you treat those first few moments can set the tone for your entire day and protect your brain for years to come. Now let me ask you something gently from one caring voice to another. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you sit up slowly, stretch your body, take a few breaths? Or do you, like so many others, throw the covers off, swing your legs over the bed, and stand up in one swift motion? I understand. It feels natural. Many of us were taught to start the day strong. But for those of us over 60, this instinct to get up quickly, especially after hours of lying flat, can quietly become dangerous. This is the hidden habit I'm talking about. Standing up too fast, most seniors don't even realize they're doing it. But that one small movement can create a sudden drop in blood pressure, a condition known as orthostatic hypotension. It sounds technical, but it simply means your blood can't move fast enough to your brain when you change positions suddenly. And what happens next? You feel a wave of dizziness. Maybe the room spins for a second. You might reach for the wall, the nightstand, or the edge of the bed for balance. Sometimes you feel lightheaded, but think, oh, it'll pass. Here's the truth. It might pass, or it might not. That moment of lightheadedness could be the warning sign of something much more serious. If your brain doesn't get enough oxygen quickly enough, it can trigger a fall, or worse, a mini stroke that leads to a full one. I once had a patient, Mrs. T. Clara, 74 years old, who used to leap out of bed every morning like clockwork. She believed it kept her young. One morning, she got up too quickly, blacked out, and hit her head on the dresser. Thankfully, she recovered. But what we later discovered through imaging was chilling. She had experienced a small stroke that day, one that could have been prevented with just 30 seconds of patience. Mrs. Clara now starts every day with a soft alarm, a moment of stillness, and a deep breath. She told me recently, "It's the first time in my life I've given myself permission to slow down." And maybe that's something we all need, because this hidden habit, it's common, it's dangerous, but it's also completely fixable. Let's take a closer look at why this habit, standing up too quickly, can increase your stroke risk so dramatically. It all comes down to blood flow and how your brain responds to sudden changes. When you've been lying down for several hours, especially during the night, your blood naturally settles. Gravity is no longer pulling it downward the way it does when you're upright. Now, imagine suddenly sitting up or standing fast. Your body must quickly adjust, pushing blood upward against gravity so that your brain gets the oxygen it needs. But as we age, this adjustment doesn't happen as smoothly. Our arteries stiffen, our heart takes longer to respond, and the system that controls blood pressure can become sluggish. The result? A sudden drop in the amount of blood reaching your brain, just for a few seconds. But sometimes, that's all it takes. That moment of dizziness you feel, that's your brain starving for oxygen. And here's where it becomes truly dangerous. If you have underlying conditions like high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or diabetes, your blood vessels are already under stress. When oxygen drops suddenly, your body goes into panic mode. Your heart pumps harder, your blood pressure shoots up, sometimes to dangerous levels, and that sharp spike can cause a blood clot to form, move, or rupture a vessel in your brain. That's the recipe for a stroke. Researchers at the University of Rochester studied thousands of seniors and found that episodes of orthostatic hypotension, those sudden drops in blood pressure, were closely tied to higher rates of both ischemic strokes and falls that led to brain bleeds. Even worse, many seniors didn't report the dizziness to their doctors. They thought it was normal for their age, but it's not, and it shouldn't be ignored. This isn't just about falling. It's about what's happening inside your brain in a matter of seconds, every time you stand up too fast. That's why I always tell my patients, respect your brain's need for time. Give it a moment to catch up. A few seconds of patience in the morning could be the key to preventing a life-altering stroke. Now that we understand the danger, let's talk about something even more important, what you can do instead. And the good news is, it's simple. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need to buy a thing. All it takes is 1 minute. Just one intentional, gentle minute each morning. Here's the routine I teach my own patients, especially those over 60 who want to lower their stroke risk without adding stress to their day. Step 1. When you first wake up, don't move right away. Instead, stay lying down for 15 to 20 seconds. Blink your eyes a few times. Let your breathing settle. You're giving your nervous system a gentle signal. We're waking up now, slowly. Step 2. Wiggle your fingers and toes. This small movement helps restart circulation, especially to your hands and feet. It's like warming up your car in winter, letting the engine ease into motion. Step 3. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. In through your nose, hold for a moment, and out through your mouth. This helps balance your oxygen and reduces the chance of dizziness when you move. Step 4. Slowly roll onto your side and push yourself into a seated position. Let your legs dangle off the bed. Stay seated for at least 20-30 seconds. Stretch your arms, rotate your ankles, and give your body time to adjust. Step 5. Stand up slowly, using support if needed. This is your body's final shift, from lying to sitting to standing. By now, your blood pressure has had time to stabilize. You're reducing the chance of a sudden drop and protecting your brain in the process. If you'd like, keep a glass of water on your nightstand. Dehydration overnight makes your blood thicker and raises stroke risk. A few sips in the morning help thin the flow and support healthy circulation. Some of my patients even write a little sticky note on their nightstand. Slow down, your brain needs time. It's a small reminder, but it can make a world of difference. So tomorrow morning, give yourself permission to slow down, not out of fear, but out of self-respect. Because your brain has carried you this far. It deserves a gentle start every single day. Let me share a story that stayed with me for years. Because sometimes it's not the statistics that make us change. It's hearing what happened to someone just like us. Her name was Margaret. She was 72, lived alone in a cozy apartment, and loved her independence. She wasn't sick. She didn't take a long list of medications. She walked every afternoon, stayed mentally sharp, and even taught her grandkids how to make apple pie over video calls. But one Tuesday morning, everything changed. Margaret had slept a little longer than usual. She woke up suddenly, worried she was late for her doctor's appointment. So, without thinking, she pushed herself upright and tried to stand. But her blood pressure hadn't caught up. She felt lightheaded, just for a second, but kept going. As she rushed toward the bathroom, she lost her balance. Her foot caught the edge of the rug. She fell backward, hitting her head on the nightstand. When she woke up, she was still on the floor, disoriented, confused. Her right side felt weak. She managed to crawl to the phone and dial 911. At the hospital, scans confirmed it. Margaret had suffered a mild stroke, likely triggered by that sudden change in position and the impact of the fall. She was lucky. Her recovery went well. With rehab and therapy, she regained most of her strength. But what struck me the most wasn't just her physical recovery. It was what she said during her follow-up visit. She looked me in the eyes and said, "I always thought strokes just happened. I didn't know I could trigger one just by getting up too fast." That moment became a turning point, not just for Margaret, but for many of my other patients too, because her story is more common than we'd like to admit. And the scariest part? She didn't feel any warning signs, just a moment of rush, a little dizziness, and then everything changed. Let Margaret's story remind us all. Sometimes protecting your brain isn't about doing more. It's about doing less and doing it slowly. So here we are. After all we've talked about, blood pressure, brain oxygen, morning mistakes, what it really comes down to is this: just 1 minute. One mindful, gentle minute each morning could be the difference between a healthy day and a life-changing moment you never saw coming. I know how easy it is to forget. You've got things to do. Maybe you've been living this way for years, waking up, standing fast, starting your routine without thinking twice. But if you remember anything from this video, let it be this: your brain needs time, your heart needs space, and you, my dear, deserve a calm beginning every single day. It doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're wise. Because slowing down in the morning isn't giving in, it's taking control. The truth is, stroke risk goes up with age, but it doesn't have to feel like a ticking clock. You have more power than you think. Hydrate when you wake. Breathe. Stretch. Sit before you stand. And remind yourself, I'm giving my brain the start it deserves. If this message spoke to you, if it made you pause even for a moment, please share it with someone you care about. It might just save their life too. And if you'd like more gentle, trusted guidance like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Elderly Whisper. We're here for you every week with thoughtful advice to help you stay strong, sharp, and independent. Because growing older doesn't mean losing control. It means learning how to protect what matters most, and it starts with just 1 minute. Tomorrow morning, give that minute to yourself. You've earned it.